Hey guys, what's going on? This is going to be video part one. I'm going to have multi-parts here on basically answering all the questions that I've had a crazy amount of questions about health, fitness, diet, how did I lose 95 pounds and all this kind of stuff. And I know that you're going to be upset if I don't dive right into the nitty gritty of like calories and workout plans and all these kind of things. But truthfully, I would be doing you a disservice if I did not start from the inside and work out, because that's what worked for me. And ultimately, that's the only way for this whole thing, this whole health and wellness thing to be sustainable. So you need to start from the inside out. And what does that mean? Well, to sum it up, basically, you need to start working on mindfulness practices. Why? Why does it matter? Why do I need to start trying to live in the now instead of letting my mind, my thoughts, and my emotional reaction to my life situation basically live my life for me instead of me, who I really am? I'll use the term being. You can say soul, spirit, the spiritual person, my essence, whatever. But instead of you actually living your life, a lot of times your mind, your thoughts, which you associate with. You basically associate yourself with these thoughts and these emotions. They are you, and you bind them together and you become wrapped up in them. You identify with them, but they are not you. If you close your eyes and do this, you close your eyes and just focus on your breathing, you'll notice pretty much right away, especially for me, and especially if you're not used to meditating or anything, a thought's going to pop right in. It could be about something that you're going to do tomorrow, something you did yesterday, whatever. Either way, it's going to be about something that isn't even real. It's usually going to be about something in the future that hasn't existed yet, that hasn't happened yet, that doesn't exist, or something in the past, which is not now. The past can't come back alive right now. It's gone. The future is not here. Now is now. Now is it. Now is what you have. Now is life. So these thoughts will come in, and you'll know, I'm going to stop thinking about that. I'm going to go back to thinking about breathing. Another thought comes in, and just allow the thoughts to come in and out, and allow the emotions that you're going to have that may come up too. You may be feeling irritated. You may be thinking about something that causes an emotional reaction. Allow that to happen, and be the observer. And so when you think about it, if I'm observing my thoughts and my emotional reactions to these thoughts happen while I'm trying to focus on my breathing, and they're coming in, it's like, what does that mean? That means here's my mind thinking, okay, and my emotional connection here. So this is my mind. And so what does that mean? That means that this is me. This isn't me. This isn't me. Right? I'm a failure. I'm not good at this. I can't do that. I messed up before in this. I had a shitty relationship and I fucked it all up, and all these emotional things that you've associated, that you've identified yourself with. And these thoughts about what happens about this, what if I do that, when I lose this weight, I'm going to be happy, These are not you. They're right here. They're these things right here. You, these things. You, these things. Right? So it's really simple. You can do this really quickly, but you start to realize, holy shit, I've been identifying who I am with all of these things. And these things have been basically grabbing the steering wheel and living my life for me, while me, the observer, the person watching these thoughts and emotional reactions and has just been like basically asleep. Like you haven't been living. Here's the problem. The only way to have real peace, and I mean really, this is really what it's all about, to have real peace and to really live life, is to be, not to think and have this emotion, be tied up in this emotional or whatever. These things are they aren't real. They're superficial. They're made up. They're your mind, and these emotional things, reactions to these thoughts and whatever. Allow yourself to be in the now, to be living, to be alive. And what happens is, when you are alive, even if a shitty situation happens, you'll feel the emotion coming on. Oh man, this really sucks. And you realize that it's an external thing. This isn't me. Here's the emotion. I'm here. What does that mean? I can go like this. I don't have to bring this negative energy into my life. I can choose to say no. I don't have to bring this thought about the future or what if into my life. I can say no. And what you start to realize is that these things aren't going to make you happy because these things aren't real. What's going to make you happy and content and peaceful is being at peace with the now. That means the good and the bad. All these things that you think are good and are bad, they just are. And when you start to accept that and you start to realize that you don't have to have this reaction to these things, you don't have to worry about things that don't exist, and you don't have to be the past. You don't have to identify with the past and wrap yourself up in that, bring those old emotions and those old things back in and create this negative energy in your space, and that really doesn't serve you. It doesn't allow you to be who you are. It doesn't allow you to even be. And it definitely doesn't allow you to express all the amazing things that you have to offer this world, and make a difference, help people, put something out that makes people's lives better, that makes the world better. There's no better feeling than that. There's no better feeling that you can have from real joy, which comes from just being. You can get things, you can receive things, money, physical objects, a promotion, and they'll make you feel happy for sure, and they can be great, but they're temporary. For any one of those external things that make you happy, there's always an equal downside. For every high, there's an equal low. But just being is a true state of contentment and peace, without the worry, without the emotional negative energy and association with these emotional reactions, without the thought, the mind going and thinking about a bunch of stuff and living your life for you, but just really being alive and conscious. So a lot of people don't even really know themselves because their whole life is just basically defined by the past and thinking about the future, which both of those things don't actually exist. And they aren't going to make you feel content and peaceful. True peace and contentment is the absence of those things, the absence of worry, and when you accept that, like you're going to die, like you're going to be dead, it's going to happen. When you come to terms with that, you start to see things a little bit differently. You don't really have anything to fear or to lose. And it's that absence of fear, of worrying about the pain or the bad or the good. It just is. And just being alive and finding contentment in being alive is something that is very powerful and that most people don't do. And you need to start there. Because once you start to figure out who you are, and once you start to realize that you've been delaying gratification, that it's not about, I want to lose 30 pounds or get healthier because I want to feel better. You have all the tools you need to feel the best kind of joy that you can possibly feel right now. And because of that, when you work on that, and when you work on being more mindful and figuring out who you are, and really loving yourself and being in this joy and this state of joy and bliss and acceptance and presence, you're going to naturally want to be healthier and do things that are positive and healthy and share that and connect with the rest of the world that you are connected with, and explore those connections and help people and put out positive energy instead of negative energy, because you're not letting negative energy come into your life anymore. You're not letting your mind bring these negative energy and emotional reactions into your life anymore, and you don't want to do the same for other people. You want to help other people. And you have these talents and these things that come naturally to you, and you know that they're there. Maybe you've been scared to even really acknowledge that they're there, or to try them, or you've made excuses as to why you don't pursue this or you don't do that. And once you clear all that out and you really just become happy and content now, and just decide that this is the state that you want to be in, things will fall in line. So you will start naturally wanting to make these choices that are healthier lifestyle choices. Your body and the outside will follow the inside, will become healthier, and will look better, and you'll lose weight and all of those things, which are great, but you'll realize that the weight and looking a certain way means little to nothing in comparison to feeling really good about yourself and feeling like you are actually being and living and not letting external things drive you, and not living in the future that doesn't exist, or the past, or associating yourself or identifying yourself with some sort of past pain and emotion or future thing that may or may not happen. Start from the inside, work out. Figure out who you are. Work on mindfulness practices. And you can do your own research. I'm a big fan of doing your own research because we're all different and we all soak in information differently. And so what works for me as far as a path of discovery to mindfulness may not exactly work for you. But, there's a lot of things that you can read, obviously spiritual texts and philosophical texts and whatnot. There's a real great book called The Power of Now, which is a classic, Eckhart Tolle. Probably most of you have read that. If you haven't, you should. And if you have, maybe you should again, but with this renewed sort of a sense of mission to be a healthier manifestation of you, of your soul, of who you are. And reread it again with that intention in the back of your head. And I think you'll find it's a pretty powerful thing. There's another book like A Life Worth Breathing by Max Strom. It's a really good one. There's a lot of really cool books, and really I'm a big fan, again, of self-discovery. So I'll let you guys go ahead and figure that out. But the next videos will be more about specifics on workouts and all this kind of stuff. But honestly, you're shooting yourself in the foot if you don't start from the inside out. You find out who you are, which helps you discover, real happiness, joy, and peace. And you realize that it's not a destination, it's not a number that's going to make you happy. And once you come from this really positive energy that you want to spread and connect with other positive energies in the world, the diet and exercise and all that stuff will make so much sense in that context. And it'll be so easy because you have all this emotional, and spiritual momentum. And honestly, the pitfalls and the bad things and whatever will just become, frankly, they'll just become insignificant because you have too much of this momentum going. And this is how ultimately you're going to be healthy for the long term. You're going to, get yourself in better shape and lose that weight, and it's going to be sustainable. It's going to be, in fact, it'll end up being easy for you because you started from the inside and worked out. It takes more time. You have to address some things that people don't like to address. We don't really like to tap into things like our emotions and ask these more spiritual, almost existential type questions. But this is also why most people aren't happy. So if you really want to be at peace and you really want to make your body healthy and help get what's inside you, the amazing things that you have to offer the world out, then you need to start from the inside out. Because there's really no better feeling than when you make somebody else's day and when you feel like you really made a difference. God, it just feels so good. It feels better than anything, than receiving anything. Giving is really what feels great. And you want a healthy body and a healthy vehicle to express that. You want to be able to express that. And if you're not there, if you're not in touch with yourself and you're not living in the now, you have no foundation. Spiritually, you cannot express and make the world a better place and give, which is ultimately the best way to receive and the most fulfilling thing that you can do in life. So you really got to start from the inside for so many reasons and work your way out. So this will be video 1, and then I'll do some more diet, exercise, and whatnot in the other video or videos. So I hope this helps. I hope everyone's doing well. And if you have any questions or whatever, send me a message or email me or get a hold of me. Cheers.